Thank you, Richie. Next on our list, we have U.S. Congressman John Tierney.
Well, thank you, Jackie. I don't want to repeat all that our previous speakers have said because they've laid out the history of this and they've laid out the problems pretty clearly on that. But I do want to say we know what the problems are. The problems are bureaucracy, and the problems are recalcitrant members of Congress who don't want to recognize there's a need and a need for action now. So in the Senate, when the senator was kind enough to say that the Senate passed by 100% and was tossing it to the House, because there's different bodies there. In the Senate, they had leadership that was willing to bring the matter up for a vote. In the House, we have a bunch of people that think saying no to every problem is the answer, and they won't even bring it up for a vote. We have to move beyond that. There are times that we know we get frustrated with government, and we are totally frustrated with NOAA and their regulatory schemes and their inability to be flexible and their apparent desire not to work with us. We should be just as frustrated with the leaders of the majority of the House who absolutely refuse to bring this matter up to give us a vote, even on relief. As the Senator said, we need relief just like farmers need relief. We watched as this country sent manufacturing overseas, and now we're working very hard to bring it back. We cannot watch as we send fishing out to the international community and refuse to keep it here and fight for an industry that's been part of this country since its inception. If we can work on a state level in a bipartisan way, and we have worked in this state, that the political figures in Massachusetts and Maine and in Rhode Island can work with us together no matter what party and no matter what other problem might come in the way, that we can do that on the national level, but we have to get our counterparts to speak to their members of Congress and tell them how important this is. That's our goal here. Now, Mr. Bullard, I see you out there, and I appreciate the fact that you're here. But you know, you have to talk to Sam Roush like we've been talking to Sam Roush. You have to talk to Secretary Blank like we've been talking to Secretary Blank. You have to call the White House like we've been calling the White House every day for the weeks now. We need your cooperation. We need your help. We need you and the others to find a way to make this work, not a way to make it not work. Now, you've told me that you're willing to do that, and I'll take you at your word. And Mr. Roush told me that last week, as late as Thursday, that he's willing to do it. We have a way for that. It's called an amendment of the Kennedy Salt and Stall bill. Takes those tariff monies and puts it towards relief. Let's do it now. Let's get you the help to take that money and put it over where it can do us some good. Where we'll be able to stop people that are losing their mortgages on their home, on their boat, on their equipment, on their seaside properties, having trouble struggling to feed and clothe their families. Now's the time to step forward and take care of that emergency issue. I look forward to working with you and Mr. Roush and Secretary Blank on that. And on the larger picture, as people have said, we need more flexibility. We need to set the regulations straight. We need to get the science right. You know, we've heard a lot. When I talked to NOAA just last week, Mr. Roush, and I said, we want that money from the import tariffs, and we want to put it over from NOAA, who shouldn't have had all of it anyway, to put it to this purpose. He said, well, you know, we have to have cooperative science and we have to have surveys. Fine. That's part of the package, but there's a lot more to it, so we'll work with NOAA and we'll make sure there are surveys and cooperative fishing, but we'll have the rest of the relief to do the things we need on the developmental side and the support for our families in this community. It's important. It's insistence that we should have on this. Look at the perseverance amongst all of you. When other people would have crumbled, when other people would have walked away in disgust, when other people would have been defeated, we have been together now year in and year out fighting. We first dealt with the enforcement issue. We got people to come up and apologize and give money back, and we got rid of a person that we didn't think was working sympathetically enough with us. We are going to be there, so we can tell that to NOAA, we can tell it to the White House, we can tell to John Boehner and his recalcitrants in the House of Representatives, we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here day in and day out until we resolve this problem for the benefit of fishing communities in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Maine, and keep this country strong and keep this industry alive. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Congressman. Next on our list is U.S. Congressman Jim Keating.